It is Friday, March 6, 2020, and you are tuned into DIRTRACKR Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. Made it to the weekend. A lot of racing action on tap. We will talk about some of it. We've been talking about some of it kind of all week already. Have already previewed World of Outlaws stuff and some of the other action going on USAC CRA cars, sprint cars. We've been talking about all week. Jump into a couple of news items from yesterday. Thursday night's US MTS show at Big O Speedway was rained out. The Texas Spring Nationals continue Friday and Saturday for the US MTS. They also lost their practice night earlier in the week, so hopefully that weather clears out and they're able to get some racing action in down there in Texas. If you cannot be at Big O Speedway, you can watch live both Friday and Saturday night on raceanddirt.tv. We talked about the US MTS show early in the week as well. Ran you through some of the things to watch for and the point standings for that. The Northeast Dirt Modified Hall of Fame has announced that Brett Hearn, Harold Bunting, and Joe Donahue will be inducted into the Hall of Fame in July. Brett Hearn has an astounding 919 wins in his dirt racing career. Pretty incredible stuff from Brett Hearn. Harold Bunting won 234 times in his career at Delaware short tracks and is the first Hall of Fame inductee from the state of Delaware. Joe Donahue was the driver everyone loved to hate through his decades-long career. He won track titles at 5 Mile Point, Susquehanna, and more. So a couple of fantastic drivers getting inducted into the Hall of Fame there. You can check all of that stuff out in July. That Hall of Fame up at Weed Sports. So pretty cool stuff there. The ASCS in action again this weekend. They ran last weekend at Canyon Speedway Park to kick their season off, and they are headed west this weekend into California. After the season opener, Matt Covington leads the current ASCS National Tour points over Justin Sanders, Harley White, Dominic Scelzi, and Colby Copeland. Those three California shows start tonight with Merced Speedway. Besides the full contingent of National Tour regulars, expect to see other drivers through the weekend, including guys like Andy Forsberg, Dominic Scelzi, Shane Golobic, Justin Sanders, Justin Cox, World of Outlaws driver Carson Macedo. He'll be in the Tarleton 21. Caleb Henry. I believe Tanner Carrick is racing tonight at Merced and then is flying off to go do the Shamrock Classic over the weekend. They're at the midget race, the indoor race in DuQuoin, and there'll be other guys there as well. Blake Hahn, who I think is probably the biggest title favorite there, he'll be kind of looking to rebound this weekend. He had a bit of a tough weekend at Kenyon last week. He had some nights that probably weren't up to his standards. They were kind of worked through some engine gremlins and some fuel issues all weekend, and he was able to still kind of manage to 11th place finishes both nights. But obviously he'll be looking to win races and wants to be up there at the top. So it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do this weekend. Other guys like Roger Crockett, obviously Harley White, things like that. Some of these other full-time drivers, see what they can do this weekend up against the best of California. If you can't be there, you can catch Friday and Saturday night shows on Lucas Oil Racing TV if you have one of those subscriptions. You can also watch all three nights on Racing Boys. And then the MAV TV cameras are there for a couple of these shows, which will be recorded to be played later in the year on MAV TV. So check that stuff out. The late model schedule for the weekend. I've mentioned this before, but the late model schedule over at Dirt on Dirt, they do a great job there. The World of Outlaws at Duck River on Friday night, Smoky Mountain Speedway on Saturday. We previewed that action earlier in the week. The Comp Cam Super Dirt Series has a pair of shows Friday and Saturday at Boot Hill Speedway in Louisiana. The Carolina Clash late models are at Lancaster Speedway in South Carolina on Saturday. And then other late model shows are happening on Saturday at Alltech Raceway, Boyd's Speedway, and USA Raceway. Livonia Speedway has 2 races on Sunday. If you would like more information or looking for more details for some of these shows, that schedule at dirtondirt.com is probably the best place to start. Open wheel shows for this weekend. We talked about this one earlier in the week, the USAC CRA and Southwest Sprint Cars at Canyon Speedway Park Friday and Saturday. The USCS Sprint Cars head to Chatham Speedway in Louisiana on Friday and Saturday nights. Mark Smith has been on an absolute tear with that series. We'll see if he can keep that up this weekend. Like I mentioned earlier, the ASCS National Tour is in California. They're at Merced tonight, Placerville tomorrow, and Petaluma on Sunday. Lincoln Speedway's weekly 410 show is this Saturday, and then Port Royal is opening their 410 season on Sunday, so lots of Pennsylvania racing action going on this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. USAC Midgets are at DuQuoin for the Shamrock Classic on Saturday. Also several Australian shows and races for the ASCS Desert Series, the Top Gun Series in Florida, and a lot more. If you would like to see a full weekend schedule for open wheel and sprint cars, you can check out the schedule over at tjslideways.com. TJ does a really great job with that schedule and keeping up with everything that's going on across the spectrum of open wheel racing. Pointing you to some podcast episodes this week. I already mentioned the Rip the Fence episode with Dave Sharpley, but lots of other good stuff this week. Wing Nation has Jason Johnson Racing crew chief and team owner Philip Dietz. Dietz is getting ready to, or has already done a few shows anyway, but has started his own sprint car team this year, the number 14 car that will have Parker Price Miller in it for somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 shows. He's on Wing Nation this week. Rip the Fence has driver Buddy Kofoid. Buddy has run in Ohio as a California driver, ran in Ohio last year. He's running the full USAC midget schedule for Keith Coons this year, and doing some other racing as well. We had Drew Brenner on Open Red yesterday. Drew is a crew member for Stenhouse Junior Marshall Racing. Was a fantastic conversation. Ohio Dirt has Jeremy Elliott from Sprint Car Unlimited. Dirt Nerds has podcast host and sports car racer Ryan Eversley, and the Rigsby Report has famed chassis builder CJ Rayburn. So if you would like to check out any of those podcasts, you can find all of that information at DIRTRACKR.com/podcasts. Let's take a look at the weekend, or at least the pay-per-view schedule for tonight. This will be kind of similar tonight and tomorrow night because a lot of these shows are running multiple nights. Excuse me. If you'd like to check out any of the pay-per-view schedule, you can do that at DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight. But rolling down the list here, Dirt Vision has the World of Outlaws Late Model Series at Duck River and the Wingless Sprints 60 Lapper at Murray Bridge Speedway down in Australia. Both of those shows are on Dirt Vision. Dirt Track Digest and Speed Sport have the Melvin L. Joseph Memorial from Georgetown Speedway. Small Block Modifieds, Rush Late Models, Delmarva Chargers, Delaware Super Trucks, STS Mod, and 602 Practice tonight on Dirt Track Digest TV. Flow Racing has the first night of the Shamrock Classic, which is 600 micros from the Southern Illinois Center. Flow Racing also has the Canyon Speedway Park, the USAC CRA, and Southwest Sprint Cars race for tonight. Like I mentioned earlier, Lucas Oil Racing TV and Racing Boys have the Lucas Oil ASCS from Merced. Racing Dirt has that Big O Speedway for the US MTS Modifieds show. And then Speed Shift has a pair of shows, Western Springs, Midget Sprint Cars TQs, Formula 2, and Quarter Midgets. And Alltech Raceway has 5,000 to win Street Stocks, which is also on Speed Shift. So keep an eye on that through the weekend, DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight. That will give you a good idea of everything that is going on. And I'm trying to do my best with this schedule to make sure that if there are cancellations or things get moved, that I jump in here and take that out. But I would definitely click over to those sites and make sure that that stuff is actually running before you jump in and want to watch something, because if something got canceled or something, I may not have had an opportunity to jump in and take it out real quick. But that will be on the site through the course of the weekend if you are looking for something to watch. The pay-per-view schedule, busy pay-per-view schedule this weekend. Lots of racing action going on. That's kind of it for the show today. I hope everybody enjoys the weekend. Lots of racing to go see or tune into. Make sure you're supporting your local tracks and getting out there and enjoying some of this stuff. I know the weather's looking really good for a lot of these places, so hopefully we get some good shows in. We will be back on Monday to recap all of the action from the weekend, and then get you prepared for the World of Outlaws. We'll be back next week. World of Outlaws Sprint Cars, and a lot of other things will be ready. A lot more tracks are going to start opening up. Their seasons, and more series are going to be opening up. I know some of the Power Eye stuff gets started here in a couple of weeks, and some other series. So there'll be a lot more to talk about coming soon. You can find DIRTRACKR Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or where you get podcasts. Please subscribe, leave me a review, tell your friends. You can also watch the show on YouTube and Facebook. If you'd like to email the show, you can do that at info@dirtracker.com. I'm checking that every single day, so if you have questions, suggestions, anything else, let me know there. You can follow along with DIRTRACKR at facebook.com/DIRTRACKR, twitter.com/DIRTRACKR, and DIRTRACKR.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Justin_Fiedler, and don't forget to sign up for that DIRTRACKR weekly newsletter. Thanks for tuning in. I will see everybody on Monday on DIRTRACKR Daily.